to break through the clouds, and conditions look absolutely ideal. The pitch has dried out remarkably well, and the wind is only slight, so we have all of the ingredients required for a top-class game of football. Well, this is always an important fixture in the Championship, but few could have forecast or scripted this particular scenario. So big Rangers support has travelled from all over the country, and Aberdeen out in force as well. And here come the teams. Just awaiting the Aberdeen players. But really a tremendous atmosphere here. Pittodrie these days holding in the region of 22,000 people. So the boot very much on the other foot from a decade ago when Aberdeen were carrying all before them. Here come in fact the Aberdeen players now. Absolute bedlam here. I was saying the boot's very much on the other foot because 10 years ago Aberdeen beat Rangers in this corresponding fixture by 5 goals to 1. A Frank McDougall hat-trick was involved there, and Aberdeen took a 21-point gap on Rangers. Well, Rangers 27 points ahead of the Dons going into this game this afternoon. So let's have another look at the teams. Aberdeen first of all. And Aberdeen making 3 changes from the team that lost at Kilmarnock last week. Out go Brian Grant, Scott Thompson and Stephen Glass. Glass in fact dropping to the bench. And Duncan Shearer comes in from the start. He was a substitute last week. Ian Jass had recovered from his ankle injury. And Ray McKinnon, the former Dundee United player, coming into the starting lineup. Alan McInally.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm looking forward to this. Interesting, a good reception the Aberdeen team got from fans here.
That means debuts for Gary Boland and Alex Cleland, the 2 players bought recently from Dundee United for £750,000. A good bit of business by Walter Smith, and it certainly gives him a few fresh options. So the referee, Jim McCluskey from Stewarton, and this is his 3rd appearance in our live games this season. He's reckoned to be the top referee in Scotland, and of course he handled the Coca-Cola Cup final a few months back, so it's an important afternoon for him and for these 2 sets of players. So it's Hateley and Laudrup who gets the match underway. As I said earlier, Rangers going for the 7th consecutive title, and of course they ended the barren years here at Pittodrie back in 1987 when they won the championship under Graham Souness. So that's an early touch for the Rangers captain, Richard Gough. And Roy Aitken, what a day for him. Well, he made his Celtic debut here 19 years ago, almost to the very day, in a 1-0 win for Celtic. He was just 17 years of age at the time. He's now 36, and one of the big days in his career, absolutely no doubt about that.
Yeah, I'm certainly sure he wishes he could be out there. More important things in his mind now. He's in charge of the team, and his motivation now is all coming from the dressing room, and he hopes he's got over enough to the players today that they can put on a good show and take something from this game and get themselves pushed back up that league.
So the referee awarding a free kick to Rangers. The Rangers don't have the best of records at this ground. Aberdeen, in fact, still hold a healthy lead. They've won 35 to Rangers 22 in the matches between these sides in the Premier Division. So it's Goff playing it forward, headed on there by Robertson, away by Gary Smith, and Shearer there blocked by Basil Bully. An apology. And Duncan Shearer, of course, has had so many injury problems this season. He'll want to get his goals tally up to the standard of last year, where he scored 24 in all. So it's Gary Smith floating in the free kick, looking for Shearer. He gets a touch. It's away though by McCall. And Haitley well challenged there by Ingles. An interesting tussle between these two this afternoon. Use of an arm there indicates the referee against new boy Alec Cleland. This is Stuart McKimmie. It's not a good one, that. Still the Dons have it, though. That was McKinnon playing it wide to Miller, who's popped up on the left-hand side. And that's the other Miller, Charlie, in the colours of Rangers. It's chested down now by Gary Smith. Plays it through, looking for Shearer, and the ball just skimming off his forehead. Gary Smith floating that one in, and Shearer making a good forward run. The ball just coming off the top of his head.
It was a good ball from Gary Smith. Unfortunately, just a little bit too high for Duncan Shearer. He certainly was in front of the defender. And that was almost the first chance for Aberdeen. And I think it could be a real handful today for Rangers defence, Duncan Shearer.
Good solid kick out from Ali Maxwell. And the referee stepping in, awarding a free kick against Haitley.
Another momentous battle between Ingles and Haitley today. The referee will have to be watching them constantly, I would imagine.
Yeah, there was a bit of bad blood between them a couple of seasons back, but hopefully that's all behind them, and they'll concentrate on the play this afternoon. With a touch by Craig Moore. As expected, Alec Cleland operating on the right-hand side for Rangers, but here's an early chance for the Dons, and that was well handled by Maxwell. Billy Dodds charging in there and having the shot at goal. Nice little turn by him.
I think when he sees that again, he'll realise what just a good chance it was. Didn't get enough power on it, and certainly could have troubled Ali Maxwell a lot more than that.
A long one played for Haitley. This is Robertson onto his old stamping ground. Good play by Rangers. Still it's Robertson. Haitley, it's laid off by Haitley, and that's a great save there from Charlie Miller by Theo Snelders. Miller getting in the first time shot. Good build up by Rangers, still to have it. It's Laudrup, and that's a corner kick. So that really gets the Rangers fans going in this capacity crowd here.
Good play by Mark Haitley. I thought he was going to take a touch and maybe turn himself. Good start, a great save by Snelders, keeps Aberdeen in the game. But it was all started by that young Charlie Miller with a great back heel with Dale Robertson. Rangers on the ascendancy.
Then it's aimed in towards Haitley. Ingles gets the touch. Laid off by Cleland. Takes a return from McCall. Cleland again. Bully's well forward, but just too well forward. The offside flag goes up. And that's the free kick to the Dons with just over 5 minutes gone, and still no scoring here at Pittodrie.
A little bit tentative there from Alec Cleland. I think he could put his foot on the ball and maybe put a telling cross in the box. Decided to play it to Basil Bully, who really was in offside position. Alec just showing a little bit of nerves in the opening period at the moment.
It's a free kick against Richard Goff. Foul there on Billy Dodds. The Rangers quite clearly climbing onto the Dons player. But the free kick comes to nothing, safely into the hands of Ali Maxwell, playing his 6th game of the season this afternoon. Just one shutout so far, but he's been a very able deputy for Andy Gorham, not just in this spell, but also last season. That's all the way through to Snelders, who wastes no time. With a keenness from both sides in these early stages. Aberdeen know that 3 points are essential, and Rangers certainly don't want to get into the kind of ruts they got into towards the end of last season. So Shearer getting a touch. It's Paul Kane trying the effort, but well over the top. But I was mentioning there that Rangers won't want to get into the kind of rut they did last season, because apart from costing them the Scottish Cup final, and not the best of run-ins in the Championship, it really carried forward into the new season against AEK Athens and the Coca-Cola tie against Falkirk. So they want to keep their sharpness, despite the fact they're overwhelming favourites. But here's a break on. Dodge was definitely onside. Shearer's in the middle. This is a great chance for Shearer. And that's well taken by Ali Maxwell, who's taken a knock in those exchanges. A great break on the right by Dodge. Shearer got himself into a bit of space. The ball was played through, but Maxwell knew he had to come for it, and he took it well and took a knock in the exchanges, but he's all right now.
Full marks to Jan Jess for keeping the ball in play. I've just got to think that Duncan Shearer could have been a little bit sharper across the goalkeeper, and it would have been a simple tap in for him, but full marks to Ali Maxwell. He did get down, saved the danger for Rangers, but a real chance for Aberdeen there.
So a good lively start to the match. Both sides committed to attack, and Gary Smith took a knock there as he was rather late challenged by Haitley, and there's another Aberdeen player on the ground as well, and I think Stuart McKimmie. So two Dons players will require some treatment here.
Certainly Stuart fell very, very awkwardly there, almost did the full tumble of Cran and landed very heavily on his neck.
Well, Gary Smith, as you saw there, is back on his feet. Haitley caught him after the ball had been played forward, but McKimmie had taken an earlier knock. So he's climbing high there, an upward fall as he went over the top of Loudrup, and perhaps just a little nip there by the Dane as well.
Yeah, certainly you saw just how severely Stuart fell there. Thankfully he's okay. He can carry on with his duties.
So the match restarts with a throw to be taken by Craig Moore, the young Australian fullback of Rangers. Here it comes again. This is McCall. Boland's away on the left, but that's well intercepted. Aberdeen getting it forward there through Ian Jess. There's Maxwell having to move quickly. Well, Haitley's being very well policed so far. This is Bolly running into a bit of trouble, but the free kick is awarded. Ray McKinnon was the culprit there. So the match going along at a fair old pace. Loudrup's popped up now on the right-hand side, cutting infield, but trying to pick out Haitley, but just putting too much pace on that one. But a player who will just switch from flank to flank and cause as much damage as possible. This is Stephen Wright now for Aberdeen, looking for Dodge. Goff's with him. Maxwell comes out and hesitates, and a bit of a breakdown in communication there between Goff and Maxwell. Maxwell came running from his line, hesitated there, and eventually had to go down.
Yeah, he did. I think Richard's intentions were for Ali to come and get the ball. Richard policed it back well enough, but Ali certainly a little bit slow in coming to get it. Just on your last point, Jerry, about Brian Loudrup switching from play to play, that's when communication between the Aberdeen defence will be really important today, because there's no set person just to pick him up, and if he's on your side, then they'll have to talk to each other just exactly who's going to pick him up, or he's going to cause a lot of problems for Aberdeen today.
So just over 10 minutes gone here at Pittodrie Stadium. It's Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0, but the game going at a cracking pace. David Robertson, who's in superb form at the moment, with the throw, looking again for Haitley. And the offside flag goes up, and that was a close call. And certainly the Rangers fans below us not at all happy with the linesman over on this near side. This is Shearer. Miller tries to get in there, but it was Moore who got it away. McCall through now to Cleland. This is Loudrup. And that ball deflected, but straight into the hands of Snelders. A genuine deflection, and the goalkeeper, of course, can pick it up.
Not really that impressed with Gary Smith there. He let Brian Loudrup a chance to turn and go at him when really Gary should have been closing him down a lot quicker than that.
Well, Billy Dodds took a knock to his face as he went into a challenge there with Richard Goff, and the referee, quite rightly, is calling for some attention for the player. You can see the ball it was that did the damage, and any knock to the head or face, the referee has to act swiftly, and that's exactly what Jim McCluskey did.
Yeah, Billy just losing the fight of the ball. Richard trying to clear the ball ahead, or just come off Billy's face.
So happily, he's okay. McKimmie at full stretch, conceding the throw-in. Stuart McKimmie, a bit of a rarity in that he's Aberdeen born. A lot of this Don's side from the west of Scotland and beyond. This is Laudrup, twisting and turning, showing lovely close control, getting away from a clutch of Aberdeen players. Robertson runs and good support. Cleance is the referee. It's a slack play by Ian Jess. He did well to win the ball, and it was McCall now playing it through to Cleland. Well, a misunderstanding there, and Aberdeen have it again. McCall and Moore left it to one another, but it's Bolly now for Rangers. This is Moore, Cleland, and McKimmie coming in a bit on the late side, and the referee will have a word with the Aberdeen man. So a ticking off there for McKimmie.
I think really Alec Cleland knew Stuart was coming in. Stuart was certainly very late, but I think a pat in the back to the referee McCluskey. He didn't book Stuart. It wasn't a particularly bad tackle.
Well, Gary Boland having a shot at goal. And this is debut. Well, he got himself clear of suspension to play in this match. And he was a substitute for Dundee United in the Scottish Cup final against Rangers last May. He didn't come on that day. Goff climbing high. Laudrup's back on the left-hand beat now, and it's Stephen Wright who heads out of play for the throw to Rangers. It's given away by Robertson. It's played through by Kane to Shearer. This is McKinnon stepping away from Bolly. The ball takes a bit of a deflection. That's good defending by Craig Moore, and that draws applause from the Rangers fans. Hitchley attacks that ball. Not much success so far. The offside flag is up against Shearer. That was a tight one as well. But the flag going up immediately on the far side there from Martin Clark. Bolly plays a high one through, but it's a wasted opportunity. All the way through to Theo Snelders. Well, the Dutch keeper very much a favourite here at the Tawdry. He's been here now since 1988. It's McKinnon's header for Aberdeen. Well, again a bit of hesitancy in the Rangers defence. And Craig Moore's been involved in a couple of them. So Rangers will have to settle down. Of course, a couple of new players coming into the setup this afternoon, and Rangers will maybe take a bit of time to settle. But here come Aberdeen. It's Dodds going for the line, getting in the cross, but the ball dipping behind for the goal kick. So Billy Dodds pushing forward at every opportunity. Well, there is a Willie Miller here this afternoon, and that's him from Dundee, the near side linesman, billed to his friends on the grade 3 lists. The referee steps in now and awards a free kick to Rangers, just inside the Aberdeen half. And Robertson has pushed well forward, right to the edge of the area. Haitley starts a run from the left side, but the offside flag, it goes up as Rangers players attack the ball.
Certainly Mark started his run very early there. I think Aberdeen were looking for him to do it. It's a good ball in, he's already well ahead in. It might even have been Gary Bowen that he gave offside against.
So Walter Smith, the Rangers manager, sitting up in the stand so far, but no doubt there'll be the customary visit down to the trackside before the afternoon's out. That goal ball hooked high into the air by John Ingalls. Snellers now with more than 200 league appearances for the Dons. One of their season campaigners and someone that Roy Aitken will be looking to in this vital run-in. Of course, Aberdeen just avoided relegation on goal difference back in the first year of the Premier Division, along with Dundee United, and of course both clubs went on to do great things. Aberdeen have never been relegated, but I'm sure out there this afternoon they're taking their manager's advice. There are 36 points up for grabs between now and the end of the season. Beating Rangers would be indeed a good start, but it's a matter of grinding out results, making things safe, and going into a new season.
Well, I think an important start would be today, Jerry. If you can take anything from Rangers, who are flying high at the top of the league, I think that would do a great deal for their confidence.
McKinnon trying to get forward, but he's challenged there by Charlie Smith. Comes off the head of Cleland. This is Joe Miller. He's closed down by Moore. Now it's McCall playing it through for Cleland. McKimmy's with him. The goalkeeper commits himself, and Snelders diving into the tackle there and saving the day for Aberdeen. Good break forward by Cleland, and the goalkeeper took responsibility despite the fact that there was a chasing defender. So we have an injury on the far side of the field. Charlie Miller, I think it is. He took a knock just a moment or so ago as he went into challenge for the ball. So Miller's certainly been a player to make his mark since breaking into the team. He in fact made his debut here in September, and in September of last season, and it was a 1-0 win for Aberdeen. But thankfully he's back on his feet, and the two Rangers substitutes warming up. Turned away again. It's Cleland laying it off to Laudrup, who's on the right-hand side again. That's a good cross. Haitley's there, but they couldn't get in behind the ball properly. It glanced off his head and behind for the goal kick. But Laudrup again, showing the danger he carries, getting in another good cross. Just dropped behind Stephen Wright, but Haitley couldn't get any direction on the header. Yeah, big Mark's run, just started from the wrong place here. The ball went too deep, but he still wants to get on the end of it. Unfortunately, just couldn't direct it on target. This is Craig Moore. It's Miller. Aberdeen have it now, though. It's Jess playing it through. That's a good ball to Shearer. Nice little back heel from him. Joe Miller sends it, and the chance on for Jess, and the goalkeeper manages to claw the ball away. Well, it was Ian Jess who began that move with a sweeping ball through to Shearer. He found Joe Miller, and Jess had made up a lot of ground, and Maxwell did ever so well to block that one.
Well, you won't get a better cross than this all day. A superb deep cross right to the back post. Ian Jess coming in at the back. You can see he's making his run. Ali Maxwell makes the round up really well and saves the day.
That's Ingalls climbing. It's away by Goff. Ingalls again, and that's behind for the goal kick. But Ian Jess did really well there, starting that particular move out on the right-hand side of the field, getting the ball through to Shearer. And that's a couple of decent opportunities now for Aberdeen. So Ian Jess, following his injury problems, starting to push himself in this Aberdeen side again. Haitley trying to get forward, but outnumbered, and McKinney leaves it Who's goalkeeper?
I think Big Roy will be happy with that last move. It's all right to say Ian Jess actually started the move, Jerry, but he was in at the end where it hurts and almost made it count for Aberdeen, and that's where he needs to be going into those forward positions to create something for Aberdeen.
This is Ingles. Looking for Shearer. Bolly watches it carefully. It's away by Robertson. Claim was there from the Rangers fans that Hateley was fouled. Play on, says the referee, who had a good view of things. Nice little touch by Shearer. This is Joe Miller. That's a good effort from Miller. The ball starting to dip, but just too late. Well, that's a sign of confidence from Joe Miller in his second spell here now at Aberdeen. Well, he's still looking for his first goal of the season, and he'd love to score one this afternoon. Of course, he did score the winning goal against Rangers in the 1989 Scottish Cup final, which was Celtic's last trophy win. And that's Craig Moore coming in to win that one for Rangers. Now it's Alec Cleland. Cleland operating on the right-hand side ahead of Moore, giving Rangers plenty of width. Got a good challenge going in there, and Walter Smith now has come downstairs as predicted, and this is McKinnon. Long ball out to the right, controlled by Jess, but across came Gary Bowen to sweep that one out of play.
I think you've just seen a part of Roy's tactical predictions today for Aberdeen, switching the play to Ian Jess and Joe Miller as often as he possibly can. And he obviously wants them involved in Aberdeen's play.
Well, Jess going for the line there, but the ball drifting behind. So Ian Jess with just the 2 goals this season, but they've come in the last 3 games, and of course he has had, as I said, his injury problems. He won a League Cup medal against Rangers at just 18 years of age. It was just his 5th game for the Dons, so a great start to his career. But now he must push those injury worries behind him. Again, Hateley is well policed. Gary Smith and Ingles and McKimmie moving inside whenever necessary, keeping a very close eye on the big Rangers striker. This is McKimmie. Moore gets a foot to that, not very convincingly. It's Dodge playing it across. Boland keeps a cool head. Still Aberdeen have it though. McKinnon plays it through. That's Moore who does well. Better touch by him this time. Now it's Cleland. This is McCall. Loudrup. And Joe Miller giving chase. Miller showing great appetite for the game. That's a great ball by Loudrup. Cleland sends it in, but he just overcooked that one. Hateley began running in towards the near post. Cleland put plenty into that one. And it's away on the far side now with Jess. And he has to settle for the throw-in.
I think a new player coming into the team, I think, was the problem there. Big Mark's run was superb, near post, he's in front of the goalkeeper. If Cullen's ball was low and hard at all, Big Mark scores. But great play from Brian Loudrup.
Roy Aitken sending some instructions. And towards trackside. It's Rangers who are in possession, it's Loudrup, who again looks very much in the mood this afternoon. Moore's in support. Here he is. Loudrup keeps running. Oh, great skills again. And a good climb there. And